Hey everybody, this is Pink Panther 69. It's the Gunchannels Lobby Chat. It's an April Fool's Day special. Right now I'm just waiting on somebody to get in here, so I see there's 5 of us watching. All I'm doing is working on a gun right now, so I'll turn my camera on and show off the new patches I got. Hopefully somebody will come in. Well, while I'm clean or waiting on people, I'll just go ahead and clean one of my guns. I see DBs out there.
going on?
Oh, CB, how you doing?
How's it going?
I was cleaning a gun, so I wasn't even paying any attention.
Oh, that's all right. I just came on and just got home from work. Was taking care of stuff. I was playing Guess the Noise. Yeah, I'll jump in.
Yeah, I think everybody else went to sleep.
Is there a lot going on tonight or not really?
Not really. I hopped in, saw everybody asking for a lobby, and then I was like, well, I'll go ahead and start one, and nobody joins.
Oh man. Been about what, a half hour of silence?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
A half hour noises me cleaning a gun, so.
Yeah, I definitely heard some dog tags.
Yep. Yeah,
Some
they
gun
were
cleaning.
wondering what I'm doing. Yep. G-Web's still listening. He's working, so.
Yeah, right on. What were they, or what did you have in mind for talking, I guess?
It's a general lobby.
Definitely.
Yep, just anything.
Yeah, I guess I don't have much. Getting amped up to do some turkey hunting in a couple of weeks here, so I guess that's my plan this weekend. Get some stuff together and take out the shotgun, see how the spread is and all that. So that'll be fun.
So your season starts in a couple weeks?
Yeah, we have a draw where you have to pick your area, and I think there's 4 different times. So I got the second week.
Okay.
So 22nd or 23rd, I get to go out. Took some vacation.
What part of the country are you in?
I'm in Wisconsin.
Okay. Do you guys have like 3 or 4 weeks, and then you guys got to pick
We
like the
have,
lottery?
yeah, that's kind of what it is. You have to send in for it. When did I send in for that? A couple months ago. A couple months before you can actually get the tag, they send you a postcard and tell you if you got it, kind of thing. And there's what, 6 different time periods, 6 weeks for spring turkey, and
Okay.
7 different zones or something. So that'll be the other fun thing. And once it gets closer to the week before, going and scouting public land to see if there's even any birds around. I wish I could just go hunting right at my range, because I went last weekend and went out to grab my targets and look over my left shoulder, and there were about 20 turkeys, 3 toms strutting in the field
Oh, gee.
right on their property. Like, man, would that be convenient if I could only just park myself there?
Yep.
So you see them all the time. But it'll be fun though, going to the pops and uncles. So I haven't gone there turkey hunting in over 10 years. So
Yeah, I've never been turkey hunting. I know around here, I think it's just like 1 week. Everybody goes.
yeah, well, that's kind of why I'm hoping. I got the second week, so I'm hoping. I don't know. I'm just hoping I can find a spot. We always used to go on farmland, but those relationships are long dead. After it has to have been at least 15, almost 20 years, I think, actually.
Yeah.
Never. I always just remember falling asleep in the woods. I never got any, anyways. But see what happens this year.
Yeah, I've been deer hunting and rabbit hunting, but that's about it. Well, squirrel hunting. I've been squirrel hunting before.
Yeah, I guess. Oh, I'm going deer hunting this year too, but I haven't done that in 6 years. Just
Yeah.
because public land is no fun gun hunting, anyways. But I took that week off too. We'll see how that goes. I haven't stopped duck hunting. I've been doing that the whole time. Not a lot of people duck hunt anymore.
Yeah. Hell, right now everybody's raising ducks.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, I've got my Facebook feed has got a bunch of people just sitting there raising ducks.
I know my dad used to do that when he was a kid. He had a whole bunch, but I don't know. That was always his main thing was duck hunting too, I guess. So I don't know if that was so much raising ducks to eat them or just having them to have them, kind of thing. But I'm sure they did eat them. But that might have not been the main reason for him having them.
Yeah, I can remember raising chickens back in the day, but that's been about 41 years ago.
So you got some years on me then.
Yeah. Yeah, worst thing I remember is being chased around the yard by a headless chicken.
One of my buddies asked chickens, never chase me around headless, but those roosters can be dicks. You gotta kung fu them back if you don't want to get pecked. There's
Yeah.
some punks.
I think somebody's wanting out.
Take the dog out.
Yeah. They're both looking at me. Hang on a second. I'll be right back.
All right.
Yeah, they're both just pups, so every time they go out, all they want to do is play.
Might be more than a minute then. That's cool.
I see all kinds of people, but 13 people in the lobby chat. Somebody's got to be awake.
I think they're all doing something else. I don't know. Does that give you feedback when I don't have headphones in, or?
I don't hear anything.
Okay, awesome. I'm not even gonna keep them in.
Probably with just two of us in here, it's probably not going to do anything. Did you play any April Fool's Day jokes today?
No. Got up and went to work, and yeah, I pretty much by myself in the corner of the shop. Didn't have the opportunity.
Yeah, my work was trying to get me to come in tonight, but I was like, I don't think so.
Just coming in on your day off or what?
Yeah,
Yeah, I usually don't do that.
they always do that. That's why I wasn't around for a couple weeks there a few weeks ago, because I was working 6-7 days a week.
Jeez, yeah, that's rough. Even when you are off, then that one day you just need to recoup.
Yeah, no, you don't get anything done.
Yeah, I'm taking my short week. We got Good Friday off for some reason. Break up the vacation days or something. I don't know. But hey, I guess
Yeah,
I'll
I'm always
take
working holidays too.
it. Yeah, that's pretty much how it used to be. You're working second shift, 4-day weeks, where I think last year 5 of our 8 holidays were on a Friday, so we don't work Friday, so we would just get paid an extra 8 hours. Oh, that's good and all, but I'd really like an extra day off. But money was good. Now I'm hearing an echo.
Sorry.
Just on my end. Did you take that thing out today, or well, that's a different one, isn't it?
Yeah, that one's a different one. That's my carry gun.
Okay.
No, I was getting it cleaned up, ready to go tomorrow. My local range, it's a state park, and I think Tuesdays and Wednesdays are closed.
Huh. Where are you out of?
Ohio.
Ohio. Okay.
So I was gonna run to the range tomorrow, put a few rounds through it. Sight
Well,
in the RMR on it.
you shoot a competition then, or is that just a fun gun?
Oh, it's a fun gun.
Yeah, it looks nice.
I see Yankees just came alive. Maybe he'll jump in. Yankee Island.
I was gonna say I usually jumps in, doesn't
Yeah, he must be doing something too.
he? Yeah. What else? I don't know. I've been looking for a new big boy revolver, either like a 454 or a 44.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just for maybe deer hunting, but mostly for fun. Get a big caliber, something bigger. Kind of looking more, I don't know, more for the 454, I guess, just because I could shoot 45. I like having options, but I mean, man, once you start getting into those, it's over $1,000. Like, man, it's hard to find 454, anyways.
Yeah, I can get it around here. That's one
You
thing
can
about
get it around here.
my local actual gun shop. I mean, he carries pretty much any ammo you can ask for.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Even if I don't know. The price gets me too, but I guess you're spending $1,000 on a gun.
Yeah.
Big caliber.
Yeah.
It's not something. Well, big calibers too. You're not going to be shooting 100 rounds at a pop, more than likely.
I see Edge woke up.
But yeah, I don't know. There's some decisions out there when you're getting those big bores, man. 'Cause there's not a lot of difference between a big Smith or Ruger or I don't
Yeah.
know anything about the Magnum Research. Big frame revolvers. They're right around the grand too, but.
See, probably the largest I had was that Desert Eagle 50 AE.
Yeah, how are those?
Mine had a problem with the magazine. It was always having failure to feeds.
Hmm.
I'd shoot a couple rounds and then one would catch, wouldn't feed all the way. I don't know if it was, because of course mine was the first gen too, so.
Okay. 50 AE is well, whatever, rimless, but not rimless, obviously. But it's not like a 44 or anything, right? Or is that a rimmed?
It's rimmed. It's a straight wall cartridge. I know that.
Okay.
That was the only reason why I got it.
But right, is it straight or is it like a revolver cartridge? So that was getting at. Okay, yeah, that's just like I just looked it up.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a 45 or anything.
Right.
Obviously, there's a rim, but it's straight. They wouldn't stack.
They're outside barking real quick. Hang on. Let me get them in real quick.
All right.
Hey, Island.
Aloha.
Hey. The edge is in. All right, good.
Is that a Ruger in your picture?
In mine? Yeah, they're both Rugers.
They look pretty sweet.
Yeah, I love them. So I'm torn for, I don't know if you were listening or not, but between like a big 454 or 44 mag, I should probably just get a Smith. They already got a couple Rugers. I just like the Rugers.
Well, I can understand either way on that because those Rugers are tanks, dude, and they're. Let's see, how do I say this? They're not as expensive as Smiths, so to speak. They can be, I guess, but as a general, they're not. But I just ended up getting a 357 from Smith not that long ago, like less than a month. I love it. It's not that big. It's only a 357.
Yeah, that's what both of those are too.
When I loaded this room, it didn't tell me Edge was fucking in here.
Well, that's what you get for using CompuServe or whatever the hell you got going
There were
on.
2 people in here. It said there was Pit Panther and ZB.
Yeah, I told you there's 2 plus other people that you don't have that you're subscribed to.
God damn it! I'm gonna start paying closer attention.
But either way, you're privileged.
Put your spectacles on, and then you'll read. Oh, man.
I don't gotta take sass from the new guy.
I just was laughing because you said spectacles.
Well,
That's like someone tell. That's like someone. That's like going to a strip club and telling her to take her trousers off.
He didn't say don't be the spectacle. He just said put on your spectacles. There's a difference.
If he wants to tell you ain't get it, that's your boy. It's your long lost boy.
Daddy.
Oh shit! One point when you, I wouldn't have minded if Yankee would have adopted me at one point.
Yeah.
I've got a
Can
weird.
I get safe privileges?
Well, speaking of guns, I got a weird situation going on. I sold one of my guns
What
Hey.
one?
to pay for some stuff for my Jeep. Sold it to a guy. We have to do transfers in Washington now.
Right.
So
New
at
law.
the gun shop, basically what I do is they transfer it to them from me. He pays me, and then they sell it to him. That's basically what happens. He has to go through the background check, etc. So he pays me. I give them the gun. They run the background check on him, tell him, hey, you should be able to pick it up tomorrow. Well, he ends up getting denied.
No more hand job.
He can't
Really?
pick the gun up. So they call me today, say, hey, this guy's been denied. Got denied a week ago. Could you come pick your gun up? And I'm like, well, he hasn't contacted me to tell me he'd been denied or to ask for his money back, etc. So I'm like, well, I'll go pick the gun up tomorrow, but I got to contact this guy, let him know I'll give him his money back. He texted. There were two ways he contacted me. First one was by email. Second was he texted me. Well, the email is one of those, contacts through arms list, so it's not their real email. It's one of those hidden, like, you got an email from A17999A1888 at armslist.com. So it's not really their real email. You're going through their, their secure server where they assign you a number and it's not really your email. So I can't contact him that way because when I try to contact him, it tells me that path is no longer valid.
Oh,
And I was like, well, I'll just text him.
Do it
I
again?
text him. I get an email. I get a message back like an hour later saying that this is not a valid number and it is a landline and you can't send text to it. And I was like, I texted it like 2 weeks ago.
Ruh-roh.
Find the guy. He's paid for the gun. He can't get it. The gun shop wants me to come pick it back up. So I'm like,
And there was no April Fools going on with any of this today.
Yesterday. It was yesterday.
Okay.
Well, enjoy the cash.
Yeah, he paid me cash, but I mean, like, I want to pay him, give him his money back, and pick the gun up, but I can't. Like, he's disappeared off the face of the earth.
Maybe he needed that thing for a reason. Who knows?
You think
Dang,
that the first thing you
stupid
do if you got
transfer law.
denied? You think the first thing you do if you got denied would be call the guy you're buying it from and saying, "Hey, I can't pick it up. Can I have my money back?" So I asked him. I said, "Oh, did this just happen today? Maybe he just hasn't bothered to call me back. He hasn't had time yet." And they're like, "Oh no, he got denied like a week and 2 days ago."
Oh, crap.
Oh,
Dang.
that is weird.
So I'm like, "Oh, he still hasn't contacted me, so I don't know what's going on." I'm thinking what it might be that he's got something in his past. He's afraid he's going to catch up with him, so he's afraid to contact me, thinking that I'll tell the police where he is, or that someone's going to be waiting for him when he comes to get his money back or something. How people get weird when
The
they
authorities aren't that on it where they would actually do that. You think?
They don't give a shit. They're just not going to let him have the gun. But I'm betting that he probably is afraid. Oh crap! Yeah, I've got that warrant in California from 10 years ago, and I'm afraid if I go to get my money back, they're going to know that I'm coming back there to get my money back and have someone waiting to serve the warrant on me or something.
There's a lot of people that falsify shit on those fucking submission forms, and they never get prosecuted.
Oh yeah, it's not illegal. It's not illegal to be denied. I mean, you can be denied. It's just, you're not going to get your gun. So they're not going to go after you for filling out the form wrong. Because let's face it, they couldn't. Because 3/4 of the time when they deny someone, it's their error. So they can't be going around prosecuting people for their error and getting sued all the time. So they can't prosecute anyone. But I mean, I'm saying that he as an individual is afraid that if he shows up to get his money back, there's going to be a officer waiting there to pick him up on a warrant he's got from 15 years ago in Vegas or something.
That's one of the conveniences of having a CHL. You want to buy a gun, you just basically you fill out the form, but they don't actually process it. They don't check they don't inquire whether it's whether they'll do a background check. Because obviously, if you pass your CHL investigation, they assume that you're a good guy.
Now, will arms list come back at you, or do you have? I mean, do you have to contact arms list to let them know what's going on?
They're just a broker.
Okay.
That little bitch ate my pretzels.
Kitty?
My 17-year-old son is a bitch. So he's
They don't really.
Well, I told him, I was like, when I left, there's only one bag of pretzels left. Eat something else. I want the pretzels. I don't want the pretzels. I was like, leave the pretzels for me. We'll see. Little bitch ate the pretzels.
Muchacho.
So now I got to eat corn chips.
Like Fritos or corn chips?
Fritos. Like Fritos.
That's better than just tortilla chips or whatever.
I mean,
But I don't know if they're
like
better than
Fritos.
pretzels.
I like Fritos, but I didn't want Fritos. I wanted my rolled gold pretzel twists.
Chili cheese Fritos.
I just went roller skating. I'm allowed to have a snack, and I wanted my...
You get the chocolate covered pretzels or just the regular pretzels?
Shut your mouth. That's gross.
It's not terrible.
Chocolate doesn't belong on
We
pretzels.
sell shit.
Oh no, man, salty and sweet. Oh,
I don't mind
goodness
salty
gracious.
and sweet together like honey baked ham, but chocolate on pretzels, no.
I tell you, we sell a shit ton of them. I know that.
Chocolate almonds.
Yeah, I like chocolate on nuts, but there's nuts in candy bars, not pretzels in candy bars.
Yeah.
We can't.
That's the only way I'll eat almonds if they're chocolate covered.
I like the variations they make from that Blue Diamond, or spicy.
What I like is when they take pecans and then cover those in caramel and then cover them in chocolate and have turtles. That's my favorite.
They always got those pecans in show. They put them in, they tumble them in the mixtures and make different kinds of flavors.
My great aunt used to always. She was a candy maker. She was a professional candy maker for most of her life, and then when she retired, that's all she ever did was make candy for everybody. And she used to make the best turtles, and they even looked like little turtles. She made the little shell on them and everything, and made little arms and head out of almonds and covered them in chocolate, put a little face on it and everything. They were so good.
There's a big pause of a professional. I'm not worried about that.
I'm trying to think of what the word is for a professional candy maker. She's like a chocolatier or something like that. There's like a name for
Heard of
it.
a profession outside of like Candyman,
No, there's a name for it. Like a confectioner or something like that. It's called, but there's a name for it. Oh, she used to work for one of the big amusement parks, one of the Disney, down in Walt Disney World. Then she used to work in Atlantic City, and she was like their main confectioner, or whatever you call it, that did their little sweets for their shops and stuff.
When you're in Vegas last time, did you go by that? I think it's the Venetian where they have that candy store. They have the chocolate dripping down. Like I think it's the Venetian. It's
No,
like,
I didn't go last time. No, wait. Where is Cheesecake Factory's in Caesars, isn't it? So it was Caesars I went to.
okay, but they had this one. I think it's the Venetian, where they have like this candy store inside there.
Maybe
And
that's what I can afford in the Venetian, so I don't know.
you see the chocolate dripping down literally, and that's how they mix it and kind of thing.
They used to go over to my great aunt's house, and she'd always have candy out making it, like suckers, and she used to make these giant chocolate covered peanut butter eggs for everybody for Easter, and
I love a good old. You don't see them that much though. Classic old candy apples.
well, so we used to have a place here in the mall locally that sold candied apples, like the hard red candy. Excuse the apple.
The caramel ones, but I don't see the old classic rock hard candy apple ones anymore.
I like caramel apples, but they're not nothing I go out my way for. But a hard candy apple I love, and there was only one place in Oregon or Washington that sold them. It was in the Vancouver Mall, the Westfield Mall, and they went out of business when they remodeled. I was so upset. Used to go up there once a week and get a hard candy apple.
There's this place in Ingram, this one mall here in San Antonio, where they have this ice cream. They dip ice cream bar. They dip in some mixture with this little deal. It's called old fashioned something. And then when they pull it out, it has like this little shell on it. It's rolling up tasty. Old fashioned something.
I keep wanting to go to one of those Cold Stone creameries, but I never have gone to one.
They're good.
Oh man, that's the best place to buy a cake or get a cake. Like if you want, if you have the time to.
There's one within walking distance of my house, but I never have gone to it.
Cakes are awesome. Like ice cream cake, fucking to die for.
I like the Dairy Queen ice cream cakes.
Yeah, I DQ. The other day we went out to eat, and I haven't had a Blizzard in forever, man. I had a Jones or a Blizzard, and I couldn't find one in the general area.
I don't like blizzards. I just like sundaes or bananas. I've never gone in and said, you know what I'd like? I'd like some ice cream, and I'd like them to throw some garbage in it first. I don't like just stuff ground up in my ice cream. I just want ice cream.
Yeah, I like the banana. Instead of getting a banana split Blizzard is kind of the one I usually grab.
That's why I don't eat like Chunky Monkey or any of those flavors of ice cream. Whenever I buy ice cream, it's always either chocolate or vanilla. Sometimes strawberry on a rare occasion.
Our local grocer, HEB, is a big grocer in South Texas. Have their own flavor of chocolate. It's called chocolate fudge. That is really good.
Now, when I was a kid, we used to make ice cream all the time, but it was goat milk ice cream. And we'd sit around like almost every night in the summertime and make ice cream, but we would make it like whatever fruit we had that on hand. Like if we went blackberry picking, we'd make blackberry ice cream. If we had peaches, we'd make peach ice cream, etc. So we always made homemade ice cream, but just vanilla was always my favorite.
I like that bean vanilla, that extract they make.
I like homemade ice cream, but it's more like ice milk than ice cream.
My cousin lived in a small town outside of San Antonio called Lytle, and they had a big Baptist community, and they would make ice cream after church. I remember the pastor would whip it up in little wooden buckets.
So what was the Wednesday night chat tonight about? What did I miss?
Matt had his chat.
About?
I didn't follow it.
Did nobody listen to Matt's chat?
No.
No, I got done with work at 1.
I think they're talking about the whole inequality or that stuff, that those laws that are passed. They're talking about. They're getting a lot of press on about if you want to own a business and claim religious beliefs to not serve people or whatever.
Man, what I believe about those is I'm all for religious freedom.
Yeah.
But you don't get to say, hey, my religion says I can kill my children if they dishonor me. You don't get to get out of obeying the thou shalt not kill laws simply because it violates your religious beliefs. I don't believe so. You shouldn't get to discriminate just because your religion says you can.
Abram did.
You can exercise your religion all you want. You just can't use your religion as an excuse to break other laws.
Amen. Amen to that, brother.
And yeah, that's not to break other laws. That's just I don't know. It's not about the gay marriage thing necessarily. It's just okay, you don't want to. It's like any other business you see in a bar or something. Well, we have the right to refuse service to anyone. If they don't want to serve you, go somewhere else.
But they don't. They don't have that right legally. Just because you put up a sign that says that doesn't mean you legally have that right. When you take out a public business license, you agree to obey by the law and standards of your county and your state. And if your county and state says you cannot discriminate, you cannot discriminate.
Usually, if you want to be an outstanding business, you also file with the Chamber of Commerce. The Chamber of Commerce also has their regulations as well.
Like I've owned businesses and I've owned bars, and if I said I threw this guy out of my bar because he was an asshole who got mouthy with one of my waiters or one of my bartenders and then grabbed one of my waitresses' ass, no problem. If I
bar is like the standing on that.
Out of my bar because he's black, I'm in violation of the law and I'm going to jail. I'm going to go to court and lose a lot of money.
Well, right, that's not a religion either.
Well, a lot of people's religion would give them the right to
So the Mormons, the law.
yeah,
Was it till the late 70s the Mormons said to black people?
yeah. You got to remember the Catholic Church and the the Baptist Church were big supporters of non-equal rights for blacks. They used that Bible as an excuse to say blacks should not have the same rights and that they should not mingle and all this stuff up until the 60s. Hell, the Catholic Church supported the Germans up until, well after the Third Reich fell.
It was also about open carry, concealed carry, and wanting constitutional carry in Texas in particular. That was the beginning of the chat.
I think a lot of people say they don't like the federal intervention in things, but I'm sorry. Concealed carry and open carry should be a federal law. It's a constitutional right, and it's the job of the federal government to ensure that we get our constitutional rights. They should be overriding state laws.
You think you scared off your illegitimate child?
What?
Scared off your illegitimate child.
Oh, dude.
I was looking at I was looking at. I'm pretty sure this is the website for the Kalashnikov group, and these are their civilian rifles.
I can't afford anything on there right now.
But yeah, I was looking at the Tiger.
Oh,
I wouldn't buy one of those anyway because I don't hate America.
Whatever. I love America. You know what? I love America, and I still want two of
I love
those.
America, but I live in Hawaii.
Like the other night when they were doing their AK chat, I was like,
That's legal.
when they were doing their AK chat, I was like,
Yeah.
what's his name? From the Green Dragon,
Mule.
Mule
Yeah.
Team. I was like, Mule Team likes the AKs because he hates America. And I was like,
Yeah.
some guy likes AKs because he thinks that's how you spell AR.
You're doing
Come on.
trolling on the chat.
I don't see a price there.
I know they don't have prices on them.
Yeah, when you
That's
first
because
pulled
we
up, I was
can't
looking for a
get
price
that.
too.
That's what I'm saying. If you got that,
I have a little saying: if I have to ask, I can't afford it.
exactly.
Yeah, there's definitely that.
I guess I'll just play around with
Especially
their
with that
website.
Tiger.
If they aren't willing to tell me up front how much something costs, I know I can't afford it.
Well, plus they're still not importable right now anyway, right?
No,
Right.
not from the Klishnikov group, they wouldn't be.
Well, until they build that place over here.
I'm hoping so, but who knows how many offerings they're going to make for just the American, you know what I'm saying? It
Right.
probably won't be as big enough price to produce everything, but it would be nice. I mean, they're going to start out with a 47 and a 74, but do you think they'll come out with a 54R? Probably not right away.
Let's see the civilians. I mean, these right. Yeah, I know. I mean, right here's their civilian rifles.
I like that one down the far left, the Tiger.
That's what I was just looking at.
That's when you were talking shit about, Yankee. Come
Yeah.
on now.
The Dragon
I
off.
didn't say I'd buy
Saying
it.
some.
I didn't say I'd buy it. I just said I like it. I wouldn't buy it.
Oh, that's different then.
Commie sympathizers. You're all commies.
Oh no, I'm all American. I believe in the free market system.
Proud to be an American.
Junker 4. That one looks like a side folder.
That was one of the things I thought was funny about that law y'all were talking about earlier about that Indiana and crap. You're on the wrong side of history when you do something like that and Walmart starts bitching at you.
I saw a post, kind of off topic, but about that thing in Indiana. And it was a guy responding to it or whatever. He goes, I don't know what kind of weddings they have in Indiana. Oh, that's right. It wasn't necessarily about that law. It was a news story about a pizza place that was there, and they were basically following through with what the law was letting them follow through on, so to speak.
Uh-huh.
And so basically, one of the persons that was responding or whatever was basically saying, I don't know what kind of weddings they have in Indiana, but in San Francisco, nobody would get their wedding catered by a pizza place.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I guess that was their. Hey,
Well,
Pink, scroll
when
down
I
a little on that, would you?
when I got married,
Which one? Oh,
we got in trouble because we didn't tell anybody.
That long one. Is that a 9mm or something?
this one? Oh, that.
I did not
Yeah.
see the
PB.
point of spending a lot of money on a wedding. That just seems like the stupidest thing in the world to me, especially when you're just starting off in life and you're like, well, we have trouble making ends meet. Let's spend $15,000 on a party.
Right. Let's get into debt for the first several years of our continuing relationship.
Okay, I'll tell you, I've been to a wedding that was like upwards of $20,000, but people had money, and then the groom and the bride didn't have to come out too out of pocket for it. But
Just take the money from the parents as a gift and buy a house. My brother-in-law, my mother-in-law spent $55,000 on their wedding.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, this is fucking ridiculous.
well, see, Catholic tradition is the wife's dad has to pay. That's the old tradition. Of course, it's not in
No, my brother-in-law's wife family didn't have any money, and my mother-in-law was determined he was going to have a fancy wedding, so we rented some fort in Florida, and they had this big fancy outside wedding with all silver and crystal, and everything was all fancy. And it was $55,000.
Yeah,
And I remember
fuck off
thinking
that.
I could buy a house in West Virginia for $55,000.
I agree with you on that because unfortunately, I mean, the divorce rate is so ridiculous now.
Oh, they're divorced already.
Yeah, the divorce rate is so ridiculous that, I mean, and then the whole thing. Well, you don't love me that much. You won't shell out that kind of cash because
We
Yeah.
need some of those in America, Pink.
When we got
Kinda.
married, when we got married, we said we were going to the beach for the weekend. We got in the car, took off like we were going to the beach, turned around, went to the courthouse, got married, went back home 2 days later, and didn't even tell anybody for like 2 years.
The first time I got married, but this time if I get divorced, it'll cost me something. But I mean, even then, people, I love them. Like the prenup comes up, they're like, "Oh, if you love you wouldn't get a prenup." I'm like,
Yeah, I remember we lived together for 15 years before we even got married. So
yeah, but let's say you are where you are right now, or in general as a single guy, and you have a little bit of some scratch or some property or whatever, and you're gonna marry somebody. Would you do a prenup?
would I sign one to marry someone? No, I would
So-
never. I would never sign. I would never start a relationship of trust and understanding with someone that required me to sign a contract up front for what was going to happen when it was over.
Well, that answers my question. Would you ask somebody if you had you were set up?
No, if I'm willing to marry them, I'm willing to take the chance.
Hell,
And on that note, see, Ed, you're doing it all wrong. You marry up, dude. I don't know what kind of chicks you've been banging.
Yeah, I say that all the time.
Dude.
I say that all the time. I'll look at the other end of the couch and go, God damn it, I wish I'd have married for money instead of love.
I know. I used to work this one when I was.
And then she throws something at you.
I used to work at a tool shop where this one guy was telling me, his this person came in. They bought like a LS 2500 system, Bose, like a 20. The system matched the price. It's $2,500, and the mom was buying it for her son-in-law. And we're like, and he was like, telling me he sold to him, and he used to date the chick too back in the day. And he was telling me that dude is set up, dude, man. He doesn't even have to fucking lift a fucking finger. He like volunteered his time because his job is to make her happy because she's like completely loaded. Like that's all his job.
Depending, that can be an easy job or that can be a really, 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 really hard job.
The other day I was like, would you really be offended if we got a divorce just so I could marry like a 90-year-old really rich, really sick woman?
Soft in the head.
And of course she said no, go for it.
Like for a few months, just to inherit millions of dollars. I want to Anna Nicole someone. Except I won't overdose and die before I get my inheritance.
Oh, you might, Yankee. You might over Pepsi or
I don't drink
something.
Pepsi anymore. I haven't drank Pepsi in over a year now.
I was happily divorced for about 7 years.
I drink Sunkist 10.
I want that stock, that butt stock off that Lapua. Thing's awesome.
Yeah.
What, that one? You like that buttstock?
Yeah.
Ugh. I don't like that at all.
Minimal. It almost looks like it's one of them recoil pods
It
too.
looks like
I mean,
something
I
somebody
can't tell
cobbled
from this
together.
picture.
Doesn't even look.
Yeah.
I know most of you guys never post on the Google communities.
I don't even know how to post on Google Communities really.
Yeah, every once in a while. I don't go over there like I used to.
I
Well,
get yelled at from people because I don't post on Instagram enough. They're like, well, "You need to post something else on Instagram." I'm like,
well,
not my job.
I will tell you, dude. The freaking Nazis that guns across Google that are always chastising you for this or that. You need to put this and post that. I'm like, dude, why do you think all things firearms is growing as big as it is? When I joined, where I was given the keys to it by the previous owner, the thing had 300 plus members. The fucking thing's grown to almost like a little under 8,000 members now. And yeah, they're double it because they would have been double it for the beginning. They were like at almost 3,000 members when we were at 300. And they wonder why, because I'm not there freaking being some freaking Nazi, fucking kicking everybody's out or kicking their dick in the dirt on their posts that they put in there. It's like, oh my god, dude. They have like 5 freaking moderators that are always doing that. So
People
Is
like,
that the answer for the bipod not touching the barrel so that it doesn't affect the harmonics of the
now
shot?
that I like.
Yep.
I like that one.
Yep. That's fits
I don't know,
4 too.
That's a Planet of the Apes stock right there.
Yeah.
I like that. People today are bitching on my video I posted today about the fact that I have an automatic. I'm like, I shattered my kneecap in my younger days when I didn't have insurance. So I wrapped it with a bandage for the first 3 weeks before I finally had to go to the doctor because it swelled up to the size of a watermelon and turned green. And then after that, after they rebroke it and put it back the best they could, I still have 0 cartilage and severely damaged ligaments in my left knee. So working a clutch is not an option for me. And I'll be damned if I'm going to use hand controls and look like some sort of gimp driving around town.
They got all over you for the holster video?
Because my truck's an automatic. I'm
Oh,
like a
fuck.
stick shift is not an option for me. My left leg does not work right.
well, I mean, I grew up driving a clutch, and I'm not
Well, I
saying
did too, but I've compensated for years for my knee by stiff shifting it and my leg, and I just can't anymore. I was wearing my hip out, compensating for my leg. So
Yeah, you got to put a bad lean into it if you got ligament problems and all that.
Well, I mean, my father always taught me. I mean, I'm not trying to dog you on that. I understand what you're saying, Yankee, but I always say, fucking take it out of gear when you're at park. When you're like at a light, take it out of gear. Don't leave it in gear when you're parked at a light. And you put in gear on, you're ready to go.
Then you're working the clutch twice as much.
You're using the clutch even more.
No, if you have the clutch pinned in the whole time, you're riding the clutch. While you're at a light, you also do is trust me, that truck only had the clutch replaced once and on a like 200.
No, but what Yankee's saying is though it hurts to depress,
Hold it down.
hurts to hold it down, it
Like-
hurts to let it go. Like basically, the clutch ain't happening. Is what I was getting out of what he was saying.
Truck
So there's
clutch,
no holding it down or nothing.
no, I can't push it. Pushing it's the hard part.
yeah, truck clutches are tough for the most part, or most people
To push it, I have to straighten my leg out completely, shift my hip, and shove my weight with my hip down onto the clutch. And that I was able to do that for years. I can't do it anymore. Wearing my hip out.
You ever driven a Porsche?
I actually have driven a Porsche.
Yeah, I have too, and those clutches are like fucking featherweight, dude. Like,
Well, they're supposed to be quick. You ain't even supposed to barely tap that motherfucker.
I
What do you got there?
got to drive a car the other day. I got to drive a car the other day that was a paddle shift.
Those can be fun.
Yeah, it's the first time I'd ever driven one. It was a friend of mine had a car brought over, and I went down and helped him get it and drove it, and it was a paddle shift. I'm like, this is fucking weird. It was a weird looking little car too, but like a Renault, I think it was.
got those on Corollas now, man. Shit.
But those paddle shifters are odd.
Yeah, I drove a 911 Carrera once, and I was like, wow, it's going through the gears is fucking fun.
Because like you got to remember, one side shifts it up, the other side shifts it down. And I'm like, okay.
Yep, guided artillery.
That's pretty sweet.
I doubt they'll sell this on the civilian market.
Yeah. Let alone to us. Even if they sell it to other civilian markets, they probably.
They wouldn't sell it to me unless they'll take like $58 for it.
And that's a steal, right? And a couple
Yeah.
of pairs of Levi's. Tell him you'll throw in some Levi's for him, Yankee.
Give them $58 American. Well, I don't got any Levi's. Will they take some? What's the name of that store?
You got a ferret?
The Old Navy brand.
Oh, I don't know. That's not the same. That's not the same.
I think that's what I'm wearing is Old Navy brand jeans, Wranglers and Old Navy.
DoorDash. You can always spice the deal with a ferret.
My freaking son's got like 20 something pairs of Levi's or something like that, and I've got Old Navy. And
Well, then you just give him some of his. He has plenty.
I went up the other day and was like going through his room, finally going through his drawers and his closet, and like making him hang stuff properly. And like there's brand new clothes I had just washed and hung, like laid in a pile on the floor with the hangers still in them. But all he had to do was take them out of the hallway and put them in his closet, and he didn't. They didn't make it that far. They just made it to the floor in his room. And I started pulling out all the clothes out of his dressers, like we're going to reorganize all your dresser drawers, we're going to reorganize your closet. I found at least a half a dozen of Levi jeans that still had the tags on them because he'd never bothered to wear them yet.
Well, why are you doing his laundry? Shit, I was 12. I was doing my own fucking laundry.
No, I do his laundry.
According to Moscow on the Hudson, what a country.
The DoorDash.
That gets you laid before you go.
I've been doing my laundry since I was a teenager because
Well, he didn't get laid in Moscow then because he's got lots of unused Levi jeans. Luckily, he hasn't outgrown any of them right now. He's got that stage where he stopped growing for a while.
For a second.
Yeah. Well, he hasn't grown in like the last 6 months or so. Last year, really. He's he's changing proportions, but he hasn't really changed. And luckily, like the jeans he was wearing, you know, like if he was wearing a 30, 32, he wanted 32, 34s because he wanted them baggy. So they still fit him, even though they're a year old and haven't been worn.
I'm 5'11", and I have to wear get my inseam is 30.
I've got shorter legs for my size. I'm just a hair over 6 feet now, and I wear a 32, 34.
If I get a 32, you'll see them like shred up.
I buy a 34 waist. I buy a 34 waist. Well, wait, no, I wear a 32, 33 is what I really wear, but you can't really find those, so I have to get 34s, and they have to break on my shoe a little bit.
You want to see like a reason to lose weight? Try buying the fucking big or what they call extra X large now, not big and tall anymore. Fucking pair of Levi's are fucking $74.
Well, I have to have $60 for my son.
It should be more like $40 for a pair of jeans. Come on, what the fuck's a pair of jeans? It costs more than $30-$40 at the max.
Once he gets her at least like $60 a pair.
Oh, gee. Yeah, I wouldn't pay that much.
I remember 501s back in the day were like the exclusive, you know, the button crotch or whatever.
505s and 5-something 5s, 515s or something like that. But the ones he likes, but they're like $65 a pair. Although that store Kohl's, that's the biggest fucking ripoff I ever went to in my entire life. I went in there one day and they had the Levi jeans. We were looking for jeans for Zyler about a year ago, or not even a year ago now. And I've got pictures of it on my phone still where I peeled the sticker off. They had these stickers on it. You know, it was buy one get one half off. You know, so if you bought one pair of jeans at I think it was $75, you got the other one for like $30-something. So you end up paying like $100 and something a pair of jeans. Well, I was like, well, what was the original price on these jeans? I peeled off. The original price was $58. They had marked one pair up enough that if you bought it, had the other one half off, you still paid the same full fucking retail MSRP price, but you bought two pairs instead of one.
This is the shit they do with speakers too. The audio stores. Well, we have buy one speaker get one free. And like, yeah.
And I'm going through and I'm looking at like sweaters, and I'm like, this is like a fucking off-brand sweater. It's like their store brand sweater. They're like, originally sold for $95, now $40 or $35. I'm like, this never fucking sold for $95 anywhere. I can buy a Polo brand of this sweater for $40.
My favorite one I used to dress up. No, I still do now and then. It's Liz Claiborne for men. I love their designs.
I used to like Tommy. I used to like Tommy Hilfiger, and I used to like Dolce & Gabbana. I used to like them a lot. for shirts and stuff.
What was that one shirt you put on that one time people were making fun of you? Like, you don't know how much a
That
shirt.
was, I think, a Dolce Gabbana.
Yeah. You get a,
That I'm like, the guy's like, oh, yeah, shirt. And I'm like, it's probably more than you making a fucking.
day.
It's like a $250 shirt. I'm like, it's more. It's probably your week's paycheck.
I used to make more than that one day at one time in my life.
Back when I used to have, that's why I don't got any fuck. That's why I don't have anything or any money. Back when we used to make money, I spent it really easy.
I still have that problem.
But I thought it was going to roll in forever like that. I'm like, oh, we're going to have 2 incomes and no kids forever.
Woohoo! Shit!
And suddenly it's 2 kids and 1 income. Well, 1 1/3.
Gotta love that YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube don't do anything for us. Well, it does. It saves me some taxes. That's about it.
Well, at least it does something positive then.
It gives me
Other than give you a social outlet.
It gives me a social outlet. I mean, cause people got to remember, like, you only do YouTube because it pays. I'm like, well, one, it doesn't pay me enough to even bother keeping it. It's better off as a deduction than it is as keeping the money in my pocket because it doesn't pay much. And 2, you got to remember, the first 2 years I was doing YouTube, I wasn't monetized. I was pumping videos out because I wanted to. Wasn't making a nickel off of them.
Well,
Yeah, and your face wasn't hardly in any of them, and they were about revolvers all the time. Let's get back on that track, buddy. Come on. That's why I subscribed to your channel, was because all that
I got
revolver
sick of the
love.
revolvers. Everyone's like, enough about revolvers.
The reason I got turned on his channel is because I was looking up like gun restorations, and that's how I came on Yankee's channel.
Buffing out a scratch on like a 640 or something like that.
I've actually got a gun in here I want to do a restoration video on. I just haven't got around to it yet. I need to do it.
One video where your hair's all fluffy, kind of like you're standing tall, and your beard's growing, made you look older. And I was like, this guy's an older guy, man.
But I got the I want to do a remodel. I want to do a refinish on this Model 66 Smith in here. I want to flush the barrel up a little bit, re-bead blast the top, polish it out, make it look sweet. But I need to do a video on that.
Yes. Yes, you do.
You ever thought doing
Let me thank you in advance. Thank you.
You ever thought about doing a custom build? I know you got custom builds on Glocks. You ever thought about custom build 1911 just to knock one out and see what you...
Nah, because I'm not into 1911. When you start talking custom builds on 1911, you're talking a lot of money on something I ain't that interested in.
Yeah. I saw some guy's video, and I saw him kind of mess it up. And honestly, I was watching the video, I'm like, he's like, I'm gonna do some lapping compound to fit the slide onto, like, you gotta take, you have to, take some measurements and narrow it down. There's no way you're gonna do that. You're gonna have to take some excess off the receiver, the rails, obviously. And then sure enough, it's like, yeah, I ended up doing this, and I fucked it up. It's all sloppy.
Have you ever thought about doing 80% 1911?
No, I don't have a tool. I mean, you have to have a mill for the most part. I mean, to try to do that shit where you're talking like using a Dremel to do it, realistically, it's not a real option for a 1911 because you can buy 1911 for $400 right now.
Oh, I know.
But yeah, so to go and pay X amount and then drill it out through using a drill to try to cave out the X amount of material you need to remove without a mill, it's ridiculous. And the mill is going to cost you less than $1,000 at best. So I mean, it's not realistic.
Because I was looking at the Instagram, and I know we like shooting. They
I mean the Instagrams.
Yeah, Instagrams. They were posting pictures of a 80 that they did 1911.
Which one of them, though? Do you remember?
I think it was just the main We Like Shooting page. Let me see if
I know, but I'm just wondering which one of them was, because Jeremy has a gun shop. Nick makes rifles at the place that he works at, and I'm trying to think. So I'm just trying to think who would have put it together, basically.
I'm looking.
Because I mean, when you get to 1911, like especially the profile.
Definitely not Aaron.
I think it's Sean. Sean Heron.
I can believe that. I can believe that.
The profile on the throat, you're gonna have to match with
Here, let me see.
It's ridiculous. That's a pain in the ass all by itself. To get that, and if you're going to deal with a hand drill or a drill press, at best, I don't know, man. You're gonna have to be a very skilled machinist to be able to do that.
I'd like to have the capability of doing something like that, like the space and the tools and all that, but I live in an extremely small space, so there's like it's easier for me to try and save up the money and just buy something that's ridiculous than go through all of that to make one.
Well, I bought my Citadel for under $500, 2012, and I've added a lot of, I've done a lot of upgrades to it personally, and I've learned and fucked up some parts that I've put on it, and learned the hard way. And I've put some parts I thought was gonna be badass, like an extended thumb safety, wide thumb safety. Like this is a cool one, and I learned how to fit thumb safety, so I'm good. I'm good now. And I bought this badass one, man. I think it's a Wilson Combat that I put on there, and no, it's Caspian. And dude, as soon as you put it on, you start putting it in a holster, it starts digging the shit out of you. That's a range thumb safety, not a carry thumb safety. So I was like, yeah. So I ended up putting the old one back on. Did quite a little bit of work to my 1911, so I'm pretty proud of the shit I learned how to do. Very, very, very cool stuff.
Like I know that I will own one at the very least. I know I'll own one day.
I can own.
I'll own at least one. I should put it more like that. But if I'm gonna buy one, I want to save up some money and either get a Colt or something. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with any of the other ones. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying personally.
Colt's a name brand that holds value. I mean, amongst all the other ones. I mean, I prefer at the Colt price. I like the Sig 1911s. Even the only problem with Sig 1911s is the holster. Getting a holster from is a different animal because they have different lines on the slides.
And see, that's kind of another thing. I like the 1911 and all that, but the way you just put that, I'm like, I'd rather have a Sig P227 instead. Or I guess I should just say in addition to, as opposed to instead of. But
I want to get a Sig, 45 227 for the collection. Have one and have it there. Great gun. Some PDs have it. The Laredo Police Department used to use a Sig 227. But I mean, I want to get one, at least one Kimber. I want to get a Sig. I want to get down the road if I can afford it. In years from now, maybe a Wilson Combat or
yeah. See, that's and I agree with you on that. I'd love to have one of those. I just don't know that I'll be in the mood to shit that kind of money. I'm not saying it's not worth it. I'm sure it is. I have no doubt of that. Hey Yankee, did you ever get your Wilson Combat Berettas back?
Nope.
Or Les Bear. Les Bear is also a good option.
And I swear to God, they're not pissing me off, but I'm getting.
They're on the edge.
Well, they called me and they said, "Hey, your Beretta should be in next week, but we lost your credit card number."
Oh, shit.
Bullshit.
And I'm like, "Oh, okay." They say we charged you once, but we never finalized it. It fell off. We need your card number again to pay for it again. I'm like, "Okay, that's fine." Because they're right, it did fall off. I checked the account, and I'm like, "Oh, yep, money's still in there." So, so I called with the credit card number. Can't get an answer. Get a busy signal. So I call again. Can't get an answer. Get a busy signal. Call again. I call at least 50 times in a week. Probably 45 times I get a busy signal. 5 times I get through to someone, but it's a voicemail.
Oh shit.
So then I would email them and say, "Listen, I called your voicemail. I left you my credit card number." And then they'd be like, "Well, we got the message, but the voicemail's all jarbled. We can't make out the number." And I'm like, "Well, I'll call you again. I'll leave it again. I call and leave it again." "Oh, well, we got it this time, but we're really busy. We'll get it in as soon as possible." Well, to this day, I still haven't been charged for it, and it should have been in this week. So I'm like, did they just never charge me, and now I've lost my place in line, or what are they doing?
No, and you're talking about the Brigadier, not the one you even sent in to get fixed,
Believe me,
right?
I haven't even checked on the one I sent in. That'll be done when it's done.
Right. That's also what I figured on that.
But that one's already taken care of. Don't know anything on that one. Blah blah blah. So I'm just like, I hope they got me charged for that. I'm gonna check again right now, as a matter of fact, see if they ever charged me for that damn thing.
I know there's a different window on what you bought compared to the standard 1911s, but I heard at least from Guns and Gear, Mr. Guns and Gear, that gun that his wife bought recently, that they waited for a year on a waiting list to be able to get the gun
What
shipped
was
in.
it? What was the gun?
I don't know. Was it CQB or was that one? But nevertheless, he would. She
Nope,
got.
Wilson Combat has still not billed me for that yet.
That kind of sucks.
I'm like, get your act in gear and get me fucking billed. I'm like,
Yeah, here's the one that Sean Heron built.
I think that's cool.
Yeah.
hold on, I can't see it.
Yes, yes. I know you have your opinion of high-end.
1911 there you're showing that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the
he-
one that's the eight. Here, I'll get the other picture. That's the one he built from an 80%er.
Yeah, okay.
Well, let me ask you this, Inky. I know you have your opinion of custom 1911s that you're not that fond of, but if you had to pick between Wilson Combat, Nighthawk, and Les Bear and Brown,
That's Bear.
Yep.
Nighthawk is all tactical garbage that don't mean much of shit. They charge you 10 times as much for things just because they have a tactical reputation. Ed Brown is cake dress. He's a cake maker. He makes his guns pretty. If you want pretty, he's the way to go. Les Bear is kind of in the middle, functional, kind of expensive, but not super expensive.
Where's that leave the Wilson Combat? Or did I already missed that part?
Combat. I said they're the ones that have that. Well, Wilson Combat. Wilson Combat. I don't
See,
really
to me,
have
like-
that much of an opinion on them as far as custom weapons go because I don't really have any experience with them.
the Nighthawk guys are former Wilson Combat people.
Yeah, and the Nighthawk people think that they have this fucking tactical operator license or something, and they think that their guns are the tactical shit. And I'm like, it's no better than any other 1911.
I think they're charging you by the beard.
Yeah.
Well, dude, I mean, those are like top 4 high-end name brands, and there's other people who can charge you more, like Cabot.
Oh yeah. Well, the Cabot's charging you for their unique manufacturing, though.
Well, is the one guy's name Turnbull? Turnbull? He
And let's
works.
face it, days of I'm sorry, the days of handcrafting are becoming less and less important. Back in the days where all your milling was done by a machine that you had to get it down to within a couple centimeters and then stop because they weren't precise enough to do it properly. You had to get it down to a certain level and stop and then hand finish it. Those days are gone. I mean, CNC machinery now is getting to the point where it can make 1,000 items to within a micron of each other.
Yeah, they're down to 0.0005 thou is like tolerances they run on CNC machines now.
Yeah,
And that's a tolerance, so they can get it better than that. They can get it dead nuts.
Yeah, so they can produce 1,000 guns that are as good as the best gunsmith could ever hand manufacture, and they'd all be exactly the same. And so the days of hand manufacturing meaning anything other than the fact that you want a gun made by this person, those days are numbered.
Man, I'd rather save up then and buy a CNC machine. I guess it sounds like.
No, I'm not gonna.
To do those kind of tolerances, you'll be saving for a while.
I'm not gonna compare my gun to any of those guns because obviously it's a Philippine 1911 from Rock Island or Arms Corp. But my Citadel, the only problem I had with it was initially a feed ramp. It had a feed ramp issue, and they resolved it when I sent it to them. But once I put, I did my video on it about customizing in 1911, and once I got it set from them, it's a shooter, man. It shoots fucking awesome. It does well. I have no concerns with it. It's basically the Charles Daly. When they got rid of the Charles Daly line, they basically made Citadel the replacement of it, and it has all the features. And I did some work to it, customizing it to my.
What are all these PayPal things on my?
Somebody the other day tried to tell me that my Smith & Wesson is going to be a safe queen. I laughed in their face. Like, no. That's a shooter, homeboy. That's what that is.
I don't have any safe queens.
Yeah, I don't either. They're all for use.
Well, this one guy did a video today about it's called basically this guy makes almost identical, pretty much the same profile grips that VZ Grips makes, but they're called EZ Grips, and he has a his store on eBay, and he does very similar work. Now, when I got my VZ Grips on my 1911 for that Citadel, they're $75 and plus shipping or whatever. And dude, the grip for cores as a mother man. I mean, you could literally like scratch the fuck out of somebody by rubbing it on their face and like fuck them up. And I had to,
That's aggressive texturing, right?
yeah, I had to take a little sandpaper and just take the edge off. My new
Edge had to take the edge off. What? What?
I had to rub it out, but
I have
Rub
no
it out.
doubt of that, bro. I have no doubt of that.
About to freak out. I'm like, who the fuck is taking money out of my PayPal? And it was Huck.
Oh. Oh, is that for that birthday present you were talking about?
Yeah.
Good. Awesome. I'm glad that's going to work out.
Yeah. I can't wait to see it. My son's going to love that. He likes knives and he loves dragons. So.
Yeah, I like that one. I like that one he does with the wings up.
And he got his knife that I bought him when we were in Alaska taken from him at school because he was an idiot and took it to school to show his friends. So.
All right,
Did
you
he
have
get
to
back?
really.
No, I had to go in and lie my fucking ass off. It fell out of his backpack when they throw their backpacks in their home room when they go to lunch sometimes. He threw his backpack in there and the knife fell out. So it was laying between like three backpacks, this knife on the floor. The teachers found it. So they called all three kids' parents in and they're like, well, we don't want to punish him so much as we just really want to know who. I'm like, bullshit. School policy is a zero tolerance on weapons.
Right, that's a suspension.
They
right
find out
there.
that's his knife, it's an expulsion. So I'm like, nope, never seen it before. And they're like, well, we have it on, I said, they're like, well, we have it on good,
Good faith or something.
they said, we have good information that this is Zyler's knife. And I'm like, well, it's not. And they're like, well, we have, pretty compelling info. I was like, well, do you have proof that it's Zyler's knife? And they're like, well, what we can prove and I was like, well, I'm only interested in what you can prove. And I'm telling you as his father, it's not his knife. So I was like, I suggest
You ain't expelling my son today.
so I suggest you drop it, or it won't go well, for you unless you can prove it.
Dad, that's my knife, Dad.
No, he was smart enough to keep his mouth shut. That was the only thing. Oh man, that's the closest he'd ever come to getting beaten at home though. When he told me what happened, I literally picked him up by the collar and shook him.
Said, what the fuck were you
Like,
taking?
what is fuck is wrong with you taking a knife to school? You could fuck your life up doing that shit.
Yeah, that has some permanent connotations to it, especially now at 17 too. Wait a minute, now especially at 17.
He was 15 when it happened.
Oh, okay. Well, now that can bring the weight of permanence, not
Yep.
necessarily juvenile. That can be real stuff.
Yep. So I was like, nope, not ours. And there's no way they're gonna prove it's ours. I even had to come home and delete a video from my YouTube where I showed the knife where I bought him in Alaska. First thing I did is came home and deleted. For when he told me what happened, first thing I did was delete that video off my YouTube.
You don't remember those 80s commercials? Where'd you learn to make this? Where'd you learn to do? I learned from watching you, Dad.
So I'm like, nope. I was like, I lied my ass off. And oh man, I got on him so bad about that for so long. I was like, I had to lie for you. So I was like, you better.
Nice. Guilt him good.
Oh, I did. To this day, I still bring it up every now and then.
And he still eats your
So,
pretzels.
Brought
Make
it.
sure you
Yeah,
don't take
right.
this new one to
He's a
the
little
school.
bitch. That's no question about it. He's a bitch. All 17-year-olds are bitches.
Tell him he can take a picture of it to school this time.
So it's bad enough that you bring your ugly, stupid friends in my house and they eat my smell up the place. And you eat my pretzels too.
Speaking of PayPal, man, I'm fucking happy. I gotta find it today. I gotta resolve resolution of a case I filed against somebody. They fucking sold me. I bought 100. I paid almost $90, 89.95 for a fucking 128 gigabyte card, SD card, micro SD card for my phone.
Oh, what size? One more time. You broke up a little.
128 gigabyte card
Woo! For how much?
for $90.
That's not bad at all, dude. That's
No,
kind of really good.
they usually cost more than that. And then
Yeah.
and it looked legit. It came in a Samsung pack and everything, and it would never fucking load properly. It would always after like the phone would go to sleep, it would always tell you the card is not loaded properly or ejected, whatever. So I took it to a little Samsung booth they have at Best Buy, and they were playing with it. And the guy was running some tests on it. He's like, yeah, this card's not running up to spec, dude. You're in 40 megabytes per second, like running 15, and on his phone. So I realized after I bought another card, a 32 gigabyte card, and I compared the two, and you can obviously see the difference. Like one is like the corners, the graphics on the card are like running kind of crooked, and that's when I realized it fucking needs counterfeit.
So it's a fake. Yeah, that sucks.
100. Yeah, I was pissed as shit because and then I tried researching on my eBay account. Excuse me, and they're like, no, all those things I bought during Christmas were not coming up. So I fucking went to PayPal, put a complaint against it, and I just got a refund today on it. It's like, fucking A. I was gonna give him the card back, but I guess he doesn't want it. So the card does function on some phones, but not on my Note 4. My Galaxy Note 4, so I was like, yeah, fucking dickhead. Can't believe it, because, I always try to be fair with people when I sell something on eBay, be honest with them, just try to lessen the complaints, and lessen the complaints on shit, and I can't believe this fucking dickhead did that, knowing where well he's selling fucking counterfeit cards.
You're surprised somebody on eBay sells counterfeit cards?
Yeah, it doesn't
Yeah,
surprise me at
that
all.
don't shock me at all.
He wasn't in China, he was in America.
Whatever. Fucking people try and make a quick buck. The anonymity of eBay,
I've had pretty good experience about eBay. I like my shopping eBay, personally. A lot of stuff.
Yeah, I'm not saying there's nothing wrong, and I'm just saying that that's one of the things you have to take into consideration every time, just about.
I know I'm going to regret that purchase, but I just bought it anyway. It's only 20
What'd
bucks.
you buy?
It's only 20 bucks.
Sorry about your homie.
Sorry about you.
Let me see if I can show you here. Hold on.
Dun dun dun. Drum roll, please.
I bought
That's a
those little stubby antennas.
So they don't break off like they
Also,
love
they
to,
don't flap around in the fucking wind when you're doing 70 down the interstate.
right?
I had had an
20 bucks is not bad for that.
I had an antenna on a car that wasn't like a shark fin antenna in years, and as I'm driving my Jeep, I keep like something in my peripheral vision, like what the fuck is moving? And it's the damn antenna bobbing as you're doing 70 down the road.
Mm-hmm.
So it's one of the old style, just the silver mast antenna.
an old C5 or CJ5.
Or
Where you,
this little stubby thing.
you had to go and actually lock the hubs yourself. You went through in a 4x4.
Yeah, I used to have a Jeep. I used to have a Ford Ranger like that. We had to get out and lock the hubs.
That's one of the things that I like about the Jeep. You
Yeah.
ain't got to get out of the cab.
Yeah.
I had to put it in four-wheel drive the other day to get me out of a ditch. So,
What were you doing in a ditch?
I was not as good a driver on wet grass and mud as I thought I was.
No,
It
there's
got
a
right out of
story
it.
there.
As soon as I put it in four-wheel drive, it came right out of it. Of course, so
Oh,
did
yeah.
pieces of my evap canister. But that's why I posted that picture on Instagram. As I'm crawling around under my car replacing my evap canister, I realize how nice it is to have a vehicle you can just crawl under when you have to fix stuff. Didn't have to jack it up or nothing. Just slid right under there, replaced the evap canister, slid back out. And now I've got a skid plate on order for my evap canister.
Yes, I was just going to say.
Did you break the evap canister, or did it just give you a
No, I
code?
cracked it. And it had a, how the dash goes, oh my God, you're losing compression in your, So I'm like, oh, what the fuck? And I'm like, I knew exactly what I'd done. I know that I cracked the evap canister.
Okay.
And yep, I go in
Oh
there.
my God,
Right.
you're going to die. Dude.
There's a part in the back. There's like a white part that snaps onto it in the back and goes into this little throat on it. It had cracked it right around the throat, like it was an impact crack, so the lip kind of cracked around the base of it. So I had to had to buy the whole canister. It was like $78, so it wasn't too bad. $78 for the canister.
How much for the skid plate?
The skid plate was $185.
That's not bad. That's not too bad either, honestly.
No, that
Oh,
wasn't.
shipping on that skid plate though.
Oh,
Or
free.
did
I
you
got,
get
it,
it
I
through
got it on
Prime?
Amazon Prime, so it was free.
Nice.
But the evap canister was like $78 from the Chrysler dealership. They had it in stock, so I just went over and got it. And they wanted like $250 to install it. And I'm like, I think I can handle it myself. I get under there, put it on. This is literally what it takes to install it. You snap the little plug off the back. You pull the old one off. You push the other one up into these 3 little prongs, snap it back into place, and put the plug back on it. It takes like 15 seconds. Okay? And they wanted
Yeah,
like
that's the
$250.
dealership.
Yeah.
That's the dealership for you.
And they know it takes 15 seconds to change it. We got to charge you 2 hours labor minimum. I'm like, no.
Yep. And that's exactly what it is. Yeah, that's the dealership for you. I don't go to the dealership for nothing.
I can understand if it's like an hour or 45 minutes and they got to charge you for the full hour, or if it's an hour and 15 minutes and they even round it up to 2 hours. But when it's 15 seconds and they want to charge you 2 hours, that's different. I mean, there wasn't even a screw. It doesn't even screw in place. It goes in place with these little snaps. It like slides up into a like little. There's 3 little holes. There's 3 little legs on your evap canister. You slide it up into the hole and then snap it back, and it snaps into place. And that's all you do to put it on.
Sounds like the G spot.
So did you see what I got, Common? Do you see that? There you go.
I've seen the
Holsters.
Rain Tactical.
Yeah.
Cool.
They're real neat. I contacted them about getting a fucking sample, but they're like, yeah, we get on our test list or whatever.
They're not famous enough.
Right?
I wouldn't mind having one. I'd like to have one like that with the zombie green and the black like that.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Did you get the pink, of course?
Yeah, those are mine. They took a picture of it before they shipped it out.
They're out of Alaska.
Do what?
That group's out of Alaska.
No, out of Alabama.
Are you sure? Let's do
Yeah.
it. Look them up the towns to figure them out. Because they're like, yeah,
Whenever I hear Alabama, I always have the line run through my head. Alabama, Daddy, R. When they were playing the state game on Married with Children. Remember that? Where you say one state and then the next, you see a license plate, and you see one state, and the next person has to say a state that begins with the last letter of the previous state.
Yes.
Alabama, Daddy, R.
Yeah, I'm pissed off at the post office because here, let me switch here.
I'd like to see if their aesthetics are as pleasing as it's functional.
What do we got here?
Let's see. Wednesday morning at 3:20 a.m. it arrived in Columbus. 5:01 it left Columbus. Columbus is 20 miles away from me as the crow flies.
Well, yeah, but look, you got it shipped on the 30th, and you get it like 3 days later. If that was UPS, it would still be sitting in Alabama, and you'd be getting it in like 9 days.
Yeah.
I'm so sick of UPS. I got something shipped from Southern California the other day, and it took 8 days to get it here.
Damn.
I'm like, I could drive to Southern California, picked it up, and been back in 2 days. It sat at their holding facility for like a day and a half, and then it moved from like Southern California to from the San Jose area up to, or it moved from like not San Jose, San Diego. It sat there for like a day and a half, and then it moved up to San Jose and sat there for another day. I'm
Somebody
like,
got tired.
That was just like a weekend drive. That wasn't even like you didn't ship it anywhere.
Yeah, hell, if they would have told me what facility it was in, I would have drove the hour up there to get it.
Yep. I had to go the other day and collect all my UPS boxes off the fucking neighbor's porch.
That would piss me off.
They deliver stuff
That
to
would,
me like
that
every
would really
fucking-
piss me
I
off.
even asked the guy, the fat UPS guy that comes here every time. I'm like, you deliver UPS packages to me like every other day. You know, you know my name. Because he asked me, man, wasn't sure about those packages. They had your name on it, but they said one number off from your house. And I'm like, yeah, and they made a mistake when they shipped it. They put, like, mine is like 08 on the end. They put 09. And it's like, so it went to my neighbor's house. And I'm like, but it had my name on it. You know who the fuck I am. You think you'd put it on my doorstep. What's more likely to be wrong? That they put my fucking name on her package or that they put one number off on my address?
I don't get paid to think. Look at the numbers.
Like our mail lady, she'll bring it to you and be like, this has got the wrong address on it, but it's your name. Yeah, she'll think and do it. The UPS people, they don't.
Yeah, one right there will probably be my next style.
See, I like that. That's cool. I like the other one better, though, the first one you showed.
Yeah, as hopefully it's at the post office in the morning, so
I definitely
I'll
don't need,
post some pictures on Instagram on it.
I definitely don't need any more fucking holsters, though, that's for sure. I'm just carrying my Chiappa still and my little leather holster that came in and the black one that I bought to complement it. That's right. I gotta go get that out of the safe in the car. It's in the safe in the car because I had to put it in there when I was roller skating. I always end up having to go out in the rain at 3 o'clock in the morning and get my gun out of my car because when we go skating, I forget to put it back in my holster when we come out.
What's going to go in that holster?
The FNX tactical.
Yeah, I can tell that from little pump
Is
out
there a
there.
13 or 14 rounder?
15. 15 plus 1.
Okay.
A 45 ACP.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. I reckon.
Yep. 45 AARP.
Right. You down with AARP? Yeah, you know me.
Yeah, where's the... Yeah.
Sweet. Nice. How many times have you racked it off your belt so far, though?
None.
Yeah.
That would be 0.
Yep.
That's nice. I like that. You don't find it to be heavy, do you? Or
No,
is it a little
actually,
heavy?
I don't. I mean, well, it's got a little weight to it, but I mean, how I shoot 1911s and everything, so.
All right. So that was one of the differences I noticed between the 227 and the FNX Tactical was what it takes for the 227 to have the extended mag in the 14 rounds, what it looks like when that thing is in there compared to what the FNX Tactical looks like just regular. It's like the FN looks definitely more
Yeah.
Yeah.
like it's supposed to look, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
That's nice. I like that big shoe on the. But speaking of like racking off your belt, I was in a chat the other day, but it was a nerd chat. But one of the guys that I go in there knows I'm a gun guy, and he's like, "Hey, you ought to talk to this other guy that comes into our chats." And apparently, he's an older guy. He's like in his 60s, but he's been like a major SWAT trainer for like Los Angeles County for years and years and years, like 20 years. And I think he's retired now. And he and I started talking after the chat, and we were talking. It was funny. We were talking about, like, what do you think about all this tactical stuff? Blah blah blah. He was like, he's like, I've trained SWAT for 25 years or whatever it is, and I was a SWAT officer for even longer than that, and blah blah blah. He said, I've never done any of the shit they teach you. Never had it happen to me in the field where I needed to use any of that shit like racking off your belt or anything like that. He said, so in all the years I've been teaching it, I've never seen anyone need to use it, but I have seen countless people shoot themselves in the fucking leg trying to do that kind of shit.
Oh, hell yeah.
So he's like, to me, that is all showbiz and sideshow carnival crap that instructors try to teach people to sell product. And I'm like, I kind of have the same mindset.
No practical purpose for it. Well, I guess if you were injured or whatever, and
You're like maybe
didn't
if you were in the
mean-
battle, and even in the battlefield, what are they? Are they going to be like solo against an army of Afghanis or something, or are they going to be in a battalion where they got people backing them up if something like that happens to them? I mean, even in today's modern army, we very seldomly put people in situations where it's them against a dozen other people.
It's usually the other way around.
Exactly. I mean, I guess it can have its place in playtime and play in the army and stuff, but he said, I've never seen it in use in any practical way, and I've seen so many people injure themselves trying that shit.
Oh, I can definitely see that. I mean, whether your finger was in the trigger well or not, I definitely can see all sorts of shit happening.
I got like 15 packages coming from Amazon over the next day or so.
Nice. You're just going to be Mr. Popular.
It's just little shit like $5 and $10, $20 items.
Oh, and how they'll break it up into 5 or 6 different shipments or whatever?
Well, I just ordered it at different times. That's the great thing about Amazon Prime, and the bad thing about Amazon Prime. Used to be if I saw something that was like $8 and I wanted it, I'd be like, well, I'm not paying $10 shipping to get an $8 item. So, you would just be like, well, I'll just wait until I can think of 10 other things I want, and I'll order them all at once, and then you'd never get around to it. But with Amazon Prime, and you're not paying shipping, it's so easy to sit here and go like, well, I'll take that $12 item, and that $8 item, and that $7,
I agree. I'm glad that I joined up or whatever, but at the same time, it takes some fucking restraint.
Because you're always like, oh, yeah, and then you realize, oh, I just ordered like 12 $10 items. That's just like ordering one $120 item. I might as well have just ordered something nice.
That would happen one day. Like it was just kind of clicking here or there, and nothing was really too expensive, And all of a sudden, at the end, I looked at the cart. Well, where are we at? And it was like $220, and I'm like, this is ridiculous. This ain't even happening. So I just got disgusted and kicked everything out, and I didn't go to Amazon for like 3 or 4 days.
Yeah, 3 or 4 days.
Well, I was gonna say a week, but I didn't want to lie to y'all.
I don't think I'd go a day without being on Amazon. I'm on Amazon probably every day. Now they got these little things with Amazon. Have you seen these things that say if you use a certain detergent, or you like a certain food, or you like a certain, item, like if you use wet wipes or something, like we don't use toilet paper in our house. We have toilet paper on all the rolls, but it's primarily those flushable wet wipes. And I know they're not the greatest thing in the world for anybody, but fuck it, they feel good. And so we use those. Now they make these little buttons that you just install the button. It's a little wireless button thing that it is run on a battery, and it's supposed to last like 5 years. You just stick it somewhere in your house. Like if you stick one for, like, say, that's from Tide detergent that you like. I like to use Tide Ultra White. So you stick that on your washing machine upstairs, and whenever you notice, oh, I'm getting low on Tide, you push the button, and just by pushing that button, they mail you new Tide the next day.
I saw a
Really?
commercial for that.
And like if say like you're like, oh, I like ramen noodles, but I'm running low, you push the button, they send you a new case of ramen noodles.
Oh man.
You don't have to order anything or go to the trouble of looking at it. You just push the button and boom, it's on its way. It blinks like a certain code to you to let you go like beep beep. Yep, your order is placed and you're getting your stuff. And 24 hours later, it shows up in the mail.
It's a real
I think
easy
that's
button.
a good thing, but I think that's a bad thing. I think it's both.
Yeah, that could
Kids
be
get their
Give them
disastrous.
what you want, but
Right.
you didn't
Yeah,
want
my
it.
niece or nephew over here, and they just keep hitting a button because it's a button. Then you got pallets and pallets of wet wipes coming to your door.
I think you do get like a confirmation email, which you can have a chance to go in and cancel it if you want to cancel it. But if you don't do anything, it just shows up.
Oh man.
I'm trying to decide on wheels for my Jeep.
Didn't come with wheels?
I can't decide what style I want.
Oh, rims. I gotcha. I gotcha.
Call them wheels. I've never called them rims.
There's the patch I got coming.
Nice.
I saw
Classy.
that and I said to laugh.
One second, I didn't see it.
There's duct tape
Where is
turning
it?
no into since 1942.
That's kind of date rapey.
That doesn't sound like a date at all.
Okay. I'm trying to. So I can't decide what kind of wheels I want.
Gentlemen, I'm going to jump, but it was definitely good talking to y'all.
Yep. Have a good one, Z.
All right, take care, you guys.
Yeah, I've been in a patch buying
I don't really buy.
frenzy lately.
I don't really buy a lot of patches.
I definitely had to buy some some of those pink every second matter patches. Get a whole stack of them.
All right, I'm trying to decide here. Where did my fucking window go? Where did I go? Oh, there y'all are. Trying to decide here between wheels like these ones, like this right here, kind of like those, or something more beefier and more traditional looking like this.
I kind of like the first ones.
Yeah, I like them both. That's the problem. I like the old
Yeah, I
traditional.
like the first ones, more spoke looking.
Yeah, they're more spoke looking, but I on a Jeep these in 17-inch look nice. But the thing I do like about the spoke ones, which is the other ones here, these ones, is paint your calipers nice and red, and it's all pretty back there with the nice red calipers and everything.
Yep.
And I do want to paint my calipers.
Paint them green.
Paint them. I'm either going to paint them yellow or red. Red looks good with anything.
Now is that like just a flat black, or is that like a black chrome?
I don't like gloss. I like flat. I like a matte black.
Okay.
I don't like gloss. I will sit back if I order it. It comes in gloss. I'll sit it back. I don't like gloss. I like a textured powder coat on most of my stuff, and then on wheels I like just a nice matte black. I got those stupid silver aluminums on there now.
Yeah.
I mean, I do have the upgraded 17-inch wheels, but I want something black. And everybody's like, you need to get big 33-inch tires on it. I'm like, I already got 33-inch tires on it, you moron. Can't you see that by looking at it?
Now, if I had like maybe aluminum accents.
No, I don't even like that. I don't even like the. I mean, okay, sometimes I can handle the aluminum accents on the spokes, but it's not even my preference there. What the fuck is all this stuff open? I always end up with like 50 windows open. It's like this. Like, here's the picture of my Jeep, and people are like, you need to get off the stock tires and put on 33 inches. I'm like, it's already got 33 inches on it. Like, can't people look at that and tell those are not the stock tires?
I think sweet. I like that green.
I love that green, that rescue green. That's what drew me to it when I saw it. People are like, are you going to paint that awful green? I'm like, I love that green. What are you talking about? Yeah, those are not stock tires. Those are 285/70s. That's not a stock tire on a 17-inch rim.
Hell, my Tahoe's only got 16-inch.
Yeah, it's a 17-inch wheel, 275/70 R17s. I mean, like, that is already a 33-inch wheel. So people quit telling me to put 33-inch wheels on it. I think the problem is they don't realize it's already lifted. So it's got one of those only 1.5-inch lift things in it.
Yeah.
So they think that it's stock, but it's not. Well, even the stock ones, the tires look much smaller. And when you look at a stock Jeep, it's much smaller tires.
Lower to the ground too.
Yeah. What was that? That just did.
Yeah, I can't see his name. But in the external, he posted about that One Touch on the Amazon.
Yeah. It's pretty cool, but it's got its price. Because I'm not good at monitoring things like that. Here's what a stock Jeep looks like with stock wheels on it. Right there.
Yeah, they look like baby wheels when they're just normal.
Yeah, that's what they come with right there. That's the stock wheel. And you can see that's not the stock wheel.
Yeah.
And people are like, raise it, raise it. I'm like, it's a daily driver. I don't want this thing 4 inches off the ground where it falls over every time I go around a corner at 30 miles an hour. I drive this thing every day. I was going to buy it just as a play car, but after I got it, I'm like, yeah, I'm just going to drive it every day and park the. I passed along the Mazda, and then the Prius just got stuck in storage. And if my son doesn't get his driver's license in the next 6 months, I'm going to sell the Prius. You can still get a little bit out of them. Hell, the thing's still worth like $7,000, even though it's, I got it in 2009, so it's.
You should be able to get more than that, shouldn't you?
Yeah, well, it's got a lot of miles on it.
Yeah.
It's got like 100,000 miles, so the blue book on it's only like $8,000. So I figure I'll sell it on eBay on Craigslist for like $5 just to get rid of it fast.
Oh, gee.
Right now, it's costing me an extra $60 a month to park it next to the truck, which is costing me money every month to park it. Because we're still parking that F-350 that I use like twice a year, maybe. It's a hassle because I've got that insurance on it where it's only on when you turn it on.
Yeah.
And so I have to call them first and say, okay, I'm taking the truck out today. And they're okay. They turn the insurance on. And then I forget to call them and tell them, okay, I put the truck back. So I end up paying for like 2 or 3 weeks of insurance on a car I'm not driving. For driving for 15 minutes.
Let's see if you still lived in West Virginia, you just park them all in your front yard.
Yeah, well, I would. I'll take them out and park them in the barn or something. We got barns and stuff on the property.
Yeah.
That's where my cars, every time I get deployed overseas, that's where my car would end up, in the barn with a cover on it. I remember whenever I came back from, when I came back from Kuwait, the happiest moment wasn't seeing my family. It was going back out to the barn and getting in my car. I hadn't been in a car in several months, that period. I hadn't been in one. And I had just bought that car when I left. I bought a Nissan Sentra right before I left and had driven it like 200 miles before I got shipped out and had to park it in the barn. And I was so happy to see it when I got back, because back then that was a nice new car to me.
Get back and it's got a few thousand miles on it.
It's still brand new and still sitting there. And I remember when I bought that car, that was when you could buy a brand new Nissan for like $4,800.
Yeah.
It took me for. I remember I had a monthly payment of like $95 a month, and I thought that was a lot of money.
Well, back then it was.
All right, I'm going to get out of here. I got things to do.
Yeah.
And by things to do, I mean I'm going to go in and watch Rachel Maddow show while practicing dry firing. and eat some snack foods because I'm hungry. I shall see you all later.
Yep, have a good one.
There, Yankee.
Yeah, I'll probably go ahead and shut this down then. It didn't look like anybody else is going to come in, so.
All right, right on. Thanks for having me, man.
Yep, no problem.
Have a good one.
Yep, you too.